So inverse functions, we switch the x and y. So the main point of it is to switch x and y. And then we solve for y. So here it talks about how the domain, which is our x values, then turns into the range in our inverse function, and then the range turns into the domain in our inverse function. So the x's become y's, the y's become x's. So everything just switches. So we're going to look at example 3 here. So when we verify inverses, we have to make sure that f of g of x is the same thing as g of f of x. So when we verify, we need f of g to be equal to g of f. So f of x is equal to 2x to the third power minus 1, and g of x is equal to the cubed root of x plus 1 divided by 2. So first let's find f of g. So which one's on the inside when we're finding f of g? What goes on the inside here? For finding f of g, which one's on the inside? G. So we're going to take g and plug that into the x in f. So we have 2 times the cubed root of x plus 1 over 2 cubed minus 1. Now we want to simplify, so just be careful when simplifying here. What would cancel out first? The cubed root and the cubed, perfect. So we have 2 times x plus 1 over 2 minus 1. What would cancel out next? The 2's. We're multiplying this by 2 and dividing it by 2, so those cancel. So we have x plus 1 minus 1. What's 1 minus 1? 0. So we're just left with x. So f of g, bless you, is just x. So now we have to make sure that that is equivalent to g of f. So which one goes on the inside here for g of f? F. We're going to take f and plug it into the x in g. So here we have the cubed root of 2x cubed plus 1 over 2. I missed something. Oops. Yeah. 2x cubed minus 1 plus 1 over 2. There we go. So we took our f function and plugged it into g. Now here, what would simplify first? So when you're simplifying, make sure you follow your order of operations. You can't just start canceling things out right away. It matters what order you do it in. What do you think would cancel here first? Joy, what cancels? The ones. Minus 1 plus 1 would cancel. So we have the cubed root of 2x cubed over 2. What do you think would cancel next? If we're multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2, Olivia, what cancels? The 2's. So we have the cubed root of x cubed. Now we can cancel out the cubes and the cubed because that's all that's left. And we're just left with x. So g of f is x. Does f of g and g of x equal? Are these the same thing? Yep. So then, yes, these are inverses of each other. So because these are equal, because they're the same thing, they're inverses. So to verify, you take one, plug it into the other, then do the same thing, but opposite. And you have to get the same answer. So we're going to be asked to verify inverses. We're also going to be asked to find the inverse. So just given one function, we have to find the inverse. So example 4 is the other type of problem. We're going to take our function here and find the inverse. So we're going to pretend that it doesn't give us these options for now. We're going to ignore G and H. We're just going to use those as like multiple choice options. So just looking at f of x, we want to find the inverse. So step 1 is we want to switch x and y. Switch x and y. So f of x is just a fancy way of saying y. So I'm going to switch that to become x, and I'm going to switch x and turn it into y. So here we have x is equal to 5 over y minus 2. Now we need to solve for y here. I need to get the y all by itself. So step 2 is solve for y. We want it to be y equals. So what do you think I would need to do to get y all by itself? So we can multiply both sides by y minus 2. So what we multiply by one side, we have to multiply to the other. So that'll cancel out with our denominator here. Then we have y minus 2 times x is equal to 5. Now again, our goal is to get y all by itself, so we need to undo everything on the left side now and get that y solo. What do you think we need to do next? Divide by x. Awesome. Let's move the x to the other side. So we're going to divide both sides by x, so y minus 2 is equal to 5 over x. What do we do next? Add 2. So y is equal to, that 5 over x stays the same, and then we just add 2 to it. So y is equal to 5 over x plus 2. Which one does that match? Does it match G or H? H, awesome. So H would be our inverse. So to find the inverse function, you want to switch x and y, and then solve for y. You got to get y all by itself. Then when we find the inverse, this one's a little different because it gives us two options, so we're just saying which one's the inverse. But when we find the inverse, I'll say step 3, is you have to name it as the inverse. So when we name the inverse, you can either say y with the little -1 exponent, or you would say f -1 of x. So you just have to put that little -1. That's just naming the inverse. That's the symbol for inverse. So step 3, the last step, is to just name it. Once you get y all by itself, you got to put the little inverse symbol. What would we need to do first to undo everything and get the y all by itself? Multiply by 2. Awesome. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. That cancels out with the 2 in the denominator, the 2 that we're dividing. So we get 2x is equal to 5 minus 3y. What should we do next? Awesome. Subtract 5. So 2x minus 5 is equal to -3y. And then what? Divide by -3. Perfect. So here we get 2x minus 5 divided by -3 is equal to y. What's the last step? Do what? We got to name the inverse. So we put the little -1 on y. Now this is perfectly fine on a test or quiz. I think WebAssign might even take this too. but also remember negative could be written on the top or the bottom, and it means the same thing. So if you move the negative up top, it would be negative 2x minus 5 over 3. So it could also be written like this. This is the same thing. Or it could be simplified one step further and distributed the negative inside the parentheses, so negative 2x plus 5 over 3. So this is also the same thing. So either way would work. If you want to leave it as it is up in blue, that's fine. But if it was like a multiple choice question, it may also be written like it is down at the bottom. So these are the same. What's the first step we have to do in finding the inverse? Switch x and y. So f of x is just a fancy way of saying y. So we're going to make that x, and we're going to make the x y. So x is equal to 3y plus 4 over 5. Now we want to get y all by itself. So what do we have to do first here?
Multiply 5.
Awesome. Multiply both sides by 5. So it cancels out with the dividing 5 on the right side. And we have 5x is equal to 3y plus 4. What next? Subtract 4. 5x minus 4 is equal to 3y. Then what? Divide by 3. So we get y is equal to 5x minus 4 over 3. What's the last step? Got to name it. So we put the little inverse symbol on the y. So for the homework, I think it has f negative 1 of x like this, equals, and then the box. So then you just type the rest of it in there. But on a test or quiz, don't forget to put the little negative 1. You have to name it. All right, last one, let's look at 3. So g of x is equal to the square root of 2x minus 3. What's the first thing we should do? What should we do first?
Put in our y value to 0.
So we're going to switch the x and y. So g of x becomes x and x becomes y. So x is equal to square root of 2y minus 3. Now we want to get y all by itself, so we got to undo things on the right side. What do we have to do first?
Square root.
It has a square root. How do we get rid of the square root? Square both sides. We raise both sides to the second power. That cancels out with the square root. So we have x squared is equal to 2y minus 3. Awesome. Next, we want to add 3. So x squared plus 3 is equal to 2y. Then what? Divide by 2. So y is equal to x squared plus 3 over 2. What's the last step? Got to name it. Got to put the little negative 1 on the y. Okay, so this was 1.5 homework number 17. So you guys had different numbers, but same idea. So when we are finding the domain, here it's a combination function, but each step asks for something different. So first let's find f, then the domain of g. So for f, we have fractions. What can I not have in a fraction? 0 in the denominator. Our denominator cannot be equal to 0. So we would just solve the denominator for 0. Here, there's not really any solving. It's just x does not equal 0. If we had something like, let's say I had 1 over x plus 5, we would set x plus 5 not equal to 0 and then solve for x. So here, x does not equal 0. So we have to write that in interval notation. So we're talking about all numbers. If I had a number line here, We're talking about all numbers except 0. I have a hole at 0. So from negative infinity to 0 with the parentheses, and then from 0 to infinity. So that's our domain for f. Now for g, we have x minus 3. Do I have a fraction? Do I have a square root? No. So what do you think our domain is? Negative infinity to positive infinity. Awesome. So g is negative infinity to positive infinity. So you only have to check the domain when you have square roots or when you have fractions. Now we have to check the domain of f of g. So the domain of f of g is the inside one, the domain of the inside, and the domain of the whole thing. So the domain of g we just found was negative infinity to positive infinity. So if I put that on a number line, it's the whole thing. Now we have to find what f of g is in order to find the domain of f of g. So we're going to plug in, which one's on the inside? G, awesome. We're going to take g and plug it into the x in f. So we have 8 over the absolute value of x minus 3. Now how would we find the domain here? Well, we have a fraction. What can we not have in a fraction? 0. The denominator cannot be 0. So x minus 3 does not equal 0. We add 3. So x does not equal 3. So if we put that on our number line, we'd have a hole at 3. It'd be every other number except 3. So our domain of f of g has to involve two things: the inside, which was the domain of g, and the domain of the whole new function, which is x cannot equal 3. So when we write that in interval notation, it's written here, but that would be from negative infinity to 3, because it's every number except 3, with a union 3 to infinity. Because what overlaps is everything except 3.